It is another in a long series of very rainy mornings here in Mae Sot. It feels like it's been raining non-stop for as many days as I can remember. It's getting a little bit depressing, to be honest. Anyway, there's a new restaurant opened up in my neighborhood. It's open early in the morning for a kind of a breakfast rush. Often happens here. About 6:15 in the morning right now. I just woke up early and I was in the mood to get out into the city and walk around. But I quickly had to hide inside from the rain. So I popped in here for some comfort breakfast dishes. So this is where I am right now. They're preparing the meals up at the front, and you can see the rain falling out on the street. And there's kind of the menu. They're kind of a breakfast and lunch menu, I guess. Kind of a bowl of kind of a porridge with egg over here, and then a more standard noodle and beef dish. And I'm quite hungry, so I ordered one of each. And here they are at my table. So I've got the standard sort of porridge breakfast here, and then I'm so hungry I ordered one of these as well. Yeah, it's a very interesting little spot. As I said, it seems to have been, this building has been around for a while, but this restaurant itself seems to have opened within the last month or so, and it's quite popular early in the morning. If it wasn't pouring rain out there, I think there'd be a big lineup of people. But here's some of the decor inside. Something like this is one of my favorite things to have for breakfast. Even in Canada, I would love to have like a bowl of oatmeal. And I'm pretty sure, of course, this is a rice, sort of a rice pudding. So let's give this a try. So good on a morning like this. Rain, cold, damp, just kind of a, not the friendliest of days that I woke up to here in Mae Sot, and kind of a rice porridge like this really fits the bill. And inside the rice pudding, there's quite a few things. There's some kind of meat here. I don't know what kind. Very hot. It's like basically like a meatball, like straight out of a chicken soup with meatballs. And they put eggs inside the rice pudding as well. So it's a full meal, really. I've noticed that a lot of people come here and take their orders to go. So there's people showing up on scooters all the time. And they roar up, put in their order. They make it very, very quickly. Everything is sort of ready to go for the breakfast rush. And they hop on their scooter and drive off and take it home. One thing I noticed about this place, and a lot of places in Mae Sot actually, is that I'm never quite sure when they're going to be open. So I haven't actually come here very often, for the main reason that I come looking in the morning and they'll be closed. Other mornings they're open, some mornings they're closed, and I've never been able to figure out a pattern. And I've come across that with a number of businesses here. And I often end up thinking that they lose a lot of customers because you can't really rely on the place. You don't become a regular because you don't know whether they're going to be open or not. In fact, this morning I wasn't even going to come here. I was on my way to the Lucky Tea Garden, and then it was raining so much, I was getting so wet that when I saw this place was open, I just changed my mind and thought I'd have my breakfast here instead. So I'm pretty sure they do have a lot of like regular customers at home, and maybe they have their breakfast delivered every morning at a certain time. That would be quite convenient. And as I've noticed, these women in front of me, they're putting together big bags of a whole bunch of meals, and they're all going out the door really fast. They've got a real efficient operation going on. You can see all the bags over there on the table, ready to be picked up. I think there are hungry families all over Mae Sot, and they're going to have these bags of tasty breakfast delivered in a few minutes. I finished my bowl of rice pudding, rice porridge. It's a really filling dish, actually, with the rice, the broth, the meatballs, and the eggs. It's a real meal. That's a breakfast, and for the average person, that would be enough. But I was really hungry this morning, and I sort of want this meal to carry me through lunch today, perhaps all the way on to dinner. So that's why I ordered my second bowl of broth, and a lot more meat in this one. Big chunks of meat. And then this, again, I haven't looked up the name of it. I keep talking about it. I think they're like blood pudding. And then some veggies in here. I thought it was like a noodle dish, but there aren't actually noodles in here. I'll give you another look at it. You can see what it looks like. Oh, there it is there. Like I said, we got the meat, some veggies, and then the blood pudding there. But yeah, there's a lot of meat in here. So yeah, this will be a nice addition to my rice pudding. I don't think I'll have a lot to say about it, but let's dive in. Nice. When you have meals like this, it's easy to understand why a lot of people that immigrate from Asia to Canada have trouble with the food. Because I can see if you're used to this as a breakfast, and then you come across a typical Canadian breakfast where we might focus more on bread, that would find if you grew up with this kind of, with a big bowl of noodles and meat and eggs and all these things, you probably want something like this for breakfast, and a piece of bread or a muffin. It's not going to cut it, Though, to a Westerner, if you first come to a place like Thailand, you might find meals like this kind of odd, because I've heard foreigners say this in the past where, you're living in Korea or somewhere, and you feel like you have the same meal 3 times a day, because you have rice for breakfast, rice for lunch, rice for dinner, that kind of thing. And sometimes you wake up in the morning and you can't quite face a full-on dinner for breakfast. But once you get used to it, you really kind of depend on it. Like this meal here is something I really like now. breakfast is done. Each dish that I had was 35 baht. So 35 baht for the rice pudding and 35 baht for the broth with all the meat. It's $1.12, I guess, so $2.25 for my breakfast. Time to head out into the rain. Yeah, hasn't stopped. I think it's been raining for, I mentioned it already, days and days non-stop. There's not even a break during the day, which is really getting kind of weird. And I bought a new umbrella to deal with it. I got this giant golf umbrella picked up at the hardware store. And yeah, it's been keeping me dry. Small umbrellas, they just don't cut it in a rain like this when you're tall. You know, like a regular umbrella, when you're tall, your legs, your lower body is still exposed, you know? So I like to get one of these giant umbrellas if I can. So anyway, time to head out.